Hi GIS community, my name is Kelly Donahue and I'm the Health Services Director here, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes to go over some information about COVID things and hopefully reassure you kind of about the situation that's been going on recently. In light of the recent outbreak near the Maysai border, I just want to say that I was really impressed with the public health department's response, that they were really quick to be able to contact trace and stop the spread of COVID in that area. And we know that there, as of right now, are just over 4,000 cases of COVID in Thailand, but I think it's helpful to remember that the population of Thailand is just under 70 million, and so that's still only about 0.0055% of the population. And most people who develop any symptoms develop very mild or moderate symptoms, but there also have been about 60 deaths from COVID in Thailand, and that means that that's 0.00008% of the entire population who got COVID died. And as scientists learn more about COVID, that the risk of mortality is decreasing because they're better able to know how to care for people that have the disease. Also, if you are younger than 65 and don't have any pre-existing medical conditions, your chances of mortality are even less than that. And so I just want to remind us as a community that we all have different levels of risk tolerance. Another area maybe you could compare it to is that many people in Chiang Mai ride motorcycles, and there are risks with that as well. And so actually the death rate, the chances of dying from a motorcycle accident are actually 20 to 60 times greater than dying from COVID at the moment. And so I know those aren't necessarily apples to apples comparisons, but they're both examples, I think, of ways where we can take steps to prevent injury or illness in light of COVID. And so if you wanted to ride a motorcycle safely, you're going to put on a helmet, some protective clothing, drive the speed limit. And so just like that with COVID, we have lots of modifications that we're doing to stay as safe as possible. And so we're continuing to do things like sanitizing our hands, practicing physical distancing, keeping the barriers up in the cafeteria, sanitizing surfaces, adhering or even exceeding the government recommendations and requirements, asking people to stay home who are sick, recommending the flu shot, especially this year, just because the symptoms are very similar between influenza and COVID, monitoring the situation on a local level, national level, and international level. And we would encourage you to do that as well. I'd recommend looking at credible sites like either the CDC or the Thai Department of Disease Control. I know there's a lot of information out there, but if you want to look at other sites, just consider the accuracy of those as well. We know that some are more accurate than others. And then last but certainly not least, the importance of wearing masks. And I just want to mention, since our poor air quality season is kind of coming up, I'd like to recommend that your students maybe bring 2 masks to school, have one for the air quality and then also one for COVID, just so that they're comfortable when they're in the classroom, but also protected from air pollution when they're outside. So our school has adopted a WHO recommended risk-based approach, which really we want to maximize the educational well-being and health benefits for students, staff, teachers, and the wider community. And just a reminder, we do this so that overseas Christian workers can continue to minister on both a local and national level, especially during this really challenging time. And as always, if you have any questions, you can email us at nurse@gisthailand.org. Thank you so much for partnering with us in this, and have a Merry Christmas.